Hello and welcome to Workshop Studios. Today's project are these slippers, if you want to call them that. They're fleece-lined boots, and they are old, but still functional. They are not the brand name UGG, but that's called UGG boots, but they're a knockoff called Shearling Supremes. I don't even think they're made anymore, but they're kind of similar, so they're kind of like UGG boots. But here's the problem. You can see the threads started to break on them and the fur's kind of poking out. So what we're going to do is just sew them up. It won't take long. So join us as we do some shoe repair today. All right, so you can see the thread has come away, and the way it's done is maybe easier to see on this edge here, is that it's sewn in through this rubber and through the sheepskin here. And luckily all these are intact, and this rubber is mostly intact, although you can see it's starting to break up a little bit here. So these aren't long for this world, but we'll give them another year or two or three maybe. So I'm going to do this using one of these. I think they call them a carpet needle, and I wish I had some carpet thread, but I couldn't find it anywhere. So I got some thread that's a close match in terms of color. And then the idea is to try and retrace these holes back to their spot that they're supposed to go. So you can see this hole probably goes to that one right there. This hole to that one, that hole to that one. So we'll just sort of feed our way through here, and then we'll come back and, oops, I can't do that one, but we'll come back and add some more thread once we get started and kind of lock it into place. So what I'm going to do is push this through the rubber first. Get it in the middle there so you guys can see what I'm doing. And you can do this by hand. You can use a pair of needle nose pliers if you want, or you can have some actual forceps here that I might use. So I'm going to start by running the thread in here, and I've already tied a knot in it, so it should kind of get caught up there. There we go. Come on, you. There we go. Now it's so the knot has caught on the rubber there. And we come in here to the hole that we think it lines up to, which is probably that hole right there, and come on through. Again, I may have too much thread on here. It seems to be getting caught up on itself. Yeah, come on, there we go. Okay. So I'll try and keep that from happening here as we go forward. So I'll pull that thread through. There we go. Now we'll pull it in tight. Oop! Oh, darn it. I didn't tie a big enough knot on this thing, so let me do that. By the way I tie a knot in thread is I wrap it around my finger like this, and then I twirl it, and that kind of puts the knot, the thread in there so that it'll do a knot. And I'm going to do that a couple of times now, until I get a big old wad like that right at the end. Yeah. There we go. That's a nice big wad there, don't you think? All right, let's do that again. So we're going to go through this hole here, through that hole, try not to poke our finger on the other side. So I got my hand in here. I'm reaching for this needle on the other side. And then we'll pull it through there again. Hopefully that holds better. I'm not going to pull quite so tightly as this time. Now the trick is to get to that next hole when I can't see it. So I'm trying to come out of this hole here. Move it over there a little bit. So one way to do that is to kind of get back here and see what I'm doing. They used a special sewing machine to do this, so they didn't have to worry about this. But there's my needle. Let's see if I can find that hole. Well, that's going to be an interesting challenge. Let me come back to you. All right, so I got it through there. Just took a little working it through. So I'm on to the next hole here. We'll try that. Feed that thread through a little more carefully. There we go. Now on to the next hole here. See if I can do this any better this time. So I'm working on that hole right there. What I'm doing is feeling for the end of the needle. I should be pretty close, I think. No, I'm way off. Let's get our orientation straight here. Where's my needle? There it is right there. See it poking out there? Okay, so I need to come right in here. Well, you get the idea. I'm going to just fumble my way through getting the rest of these in there. Okay, I had it. So there it is, peeking out there, and through we come. And we're going to go through the shoe as well, with the boot. There we go. Now it might be easier to use this guy here. Kind of grabs onto it. Alright. And there it is. Give it a little tug to tighten those up a little bit. And you can see it's already starting to look kind of like it's supposed to. And I think I will go back through and put more stitches in each one. I think will be stronger that way. So here's the next one. We're going to go right through the shoe there, or the boot. There we go. This isn't really that hard. If you've got any little bit of sewing skills, you can try doing it yourself. All right, so I'm going to keep going here, and I'll show you what the end looks like. All right, a couple of tricks. So got this one sewn up, but there's still a little place where the fabric has actually given way and failed, or the sheepskin, should I say. But the rest of it's all sewn up reasonably well. Like I say, they may only last another season. But one thing I did was switched from the bigger needle, which was this one, to this smaller needle. So I'll put them side by side, and you can see. See the difference here. There we go. So there's the two needles. So I switched to this one. That was plenty big enough. The other thing I did was I started using a pair of vice grips that are kind of needle nosed, if you might. They gripped it much tighter than I could with my fingers or with the forceps, these guys. And that allowed me to I could actually put it right straight through the fabric. So those two tricks allowed me to go ahead and get it all sewed up. So I'm going to let that be the end of the video. If you can find yourself a needle like this, and I just used regular thread, you may be able to repair them at least for a little while. All right. Well, thanks for watching, and good luck with your sheepskin boot repair. All right. Catch you on the next video. Bye. A little postscript. Just wanted to show you how I grip it with these things. As I put it in kind of so as much of the needle is in contact with the needle nose, this needle, with the vice grips, because then it really keeps it from rotating. So click that down, and now that should be able to go through just about anywhere I want to go, because I can poke it up through, just make sure I know where I'm at here. There we go. I can poke it up anywhere and kind of get right through. See, I can come right anywhere, so I don't have to match up with with an existing hole that way. And then I use these guys on the other side, click it in place, and then I can let go here and not pull it back through. There we go. So now I've, taken these out, and I could pull this through. There we go. So coming down this way, I can follow an existing hole, like right here. You probably can't see, but there's an existing hole that I'm going to go through. I think. Yeah, it's going through. It's just kind of tight. Now you can even use them over here too, on this side, but if you can find an existing hole, it's not quite so difficult. There we go. So the rubber soles that they have on these is pretty tough, and of course the sheepskin is tough. So this is kind of more your very difficult sewing. Pull that through. There we go. Get my thread all straightened down here. Come on, you. There we go. Anyhow, you get the idea. So, clip them on, and that'll give you a lot more control. All right, that's it now. Bye.